Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Your guess is as good as mine. Count on the categories today. Your top 10 most hated sports franchises and your top 10 television game shows. We will play Your Guess is as good as mine coming up after emails on our random question. 206-421-ROCK.
You know, comments are coming in. We go back to the question you asked. What's the most dangerous thing you did as a kid? And again, we lamented that parents will always warn that anything you do is going to lead to someone's eye being put out of their head. And we said, look, we've never seen it. It seems like parents are lying. And someone lets us know, hey, man, I saw a kid take a pencil to the eye. Well, it continues. Co-worker shot his eye with a BB gun as a kid, blind in that eye. Then I met his wife as an adult. She had the same problem, just the opposite eye. We say they had love at first sight.
Oh,
then they pointed out former Chicago Bears QB Jim McMahon. He got a fork in the eye from his brother. That's why he always wore sunglasses due to eye damage.
I knew there was something going on with him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a fork from his brother. Then this one, it says, my brother threw a rock on the way to school. The rock hit a bottle. A piece of glass went into another kid's eye and partially blinded him.
Jesus.
I'm glad I missed all that.
Random question. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola. Matt, welcome to the program. Random question. Matt, are you kind of a debaucherist?
Used to be.
All right. Let me ask you this. What do you or did you hide, and who are you hiding it from? Maybe you got a little stash at home someplace or something. Some people hide cookies from their significant other.
Or Cinnamon Toast Crunch from their children.
So they won't eat them all. You know, it just depends on who you're trying to hide something from.
Trying to hide weed from Canadian customs.
Ooh, how did that go?
Sweaty palms, nervous, and then crossed the border and lit a joint.
What even gave you the guts to do it? I mean, I know people have done it, but the one thing with me, I'm like, look, I'm down with doing a whole lot of bad stuff. I'm down with doing a whole lot of questionable stuff, but I don't want to do anything where if I get caught, I'm in the prison of a foreign country. You feel me? So I can't imagine trying to run drugs over the border.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
It
just seems like too much of a risk.
Wasn't moving a whole lot. Going up to Whistler for a friend's birthday party for the weekend. We had a really nice condo, and I didn't know anybody up there to get weed from. So I had to bring my own.
Okay,
fair enough.
If you ever get a chance to get some BC bud from someone in Canada, obviously it's legal now. Do it, because it's mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. It's mind-blowing how good that weed is up there. I can't even tell you. And I was so scared because I just got a nug from this dude at the bar.
Right.
Because he sat down beside me, and I mean, he reeked. And I was like, bro, what do you got?
Smoked weed or fresh weed?
Fresh.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you have on you, man? He's like, I got some good stuff, man. I was like, all right, cool, man. Is there any way I can buy What's that?
It's ironic you said that, because the second night I was in the Whistler Village, I met a local, and then he did the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, from what I've heard about Whistler, if you need weed, just say to anybody, hey, I need weed.
And that weed's 10 times better than anything else. So I do. Can I give you $10? Can you give me a bud? Whatever. So he's like, no, man, I'll just hook you up. So he goes, give me the cellophane from your cigarettes. He goes in the bathroom. He comes back out. I stick this thing in my pocket. Now, I am reeking of weed, right? The plan at this point in time was to go out to dinner. And the dinner was going to be freaking great. It was like one of the better places to go to dinner. One of the, and you got to get a reservation. And it took like 3 days to get a reservation because they were all full. Even this dinner was later because it was so hard to get in. It was like a 9 o'clock dinner or something like that. No big deal. Anyway. So I go back up to the hotel room. We start smoking this weed. And this weed is unbelievable. I am a daily smoker. I have just absolutely, my mind is completely blown on this stuff. I'm giggling. I'm laughing. You know what I really like to do when I get real baked in Canada is watch the regular television programming because I love the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not Applebee's up there. It's something else. They got a different name for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing.
But you kind of recognize the counterpart in the U.S.
I think that's Pizza Hut. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, like, you kind of get an idea. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, so, and then we get so stoned that we determine that we cannot possibly go to this restaurant.
You're just not conditioned?
We can't go. So plan B is I'm going to go and I'm going to pick up a pizza. Now, one thing that you really need to know, Ted, about a pizza in Canada, because I know you've never been to Canada before, typically they'll use a 3-cheese blend on their pizza.
All right.
One of those cheeses is blue cheese.
Ugh.
They don't warn you of that?
No.
Oh.
No.
I mean, I like blue cheese, but I feel you need to give a warning.
So the pizza's just average. Now I'm just stoned out of my mind eating this pizza. Like, it sucks. But I was so scared on the way home because they stopped us in customs. I knew I had this thing in my pocket. My pants still reeked of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I might even have saved a nug or whatever. I can't remember what I was paranoid about. But they pull us over to the side. Now they got these German shepherds just swimming in between them.
Yeah.
This is U.S.
We look up for drugs.
This is U.S. Customs. They're just, I don't know if these are bomb-sniffing dogs. I don't know what the hell.
I always hope they're bomb-sniffing dogs because I'm like, then I'm cool. If they're drug-sniffing dogs, and not because I'm carrying something on me, but Ted, I've said this to you before. Almost every time I travel, I want an entirely new bag. Because when you don't travel, maybe you grab that backpack and use it, I don't know, to go to a festival. And you forget what might still be in that bag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And so I was freaked the hell out. Here are the things that I hide at home. If my one daughter's coming over, I hide all my weed. And then I also hide the pepperoni, sliced pepperoni. Because she'll eat all that and a box macaroni and cheese.
Now, will she eat the entire thing of pepperoni?
She will eat the entire package of pepperoni.
If she does not get stoned.
She'll just eat it. Okay. I mean, I don't know what her deal is.
You always have pepperoni at the house?
I do, and I have the little Hormel cups, the smaller ones now. But I normally hide the pepperoni.
I'm going to let her know
in the veggie drawer because I know damn well.
Look in the veggie drawer
because she's not going in there. So that's where I hide that, and I hide my weed because I'm afraid she's going to steal it.
I had things for my kids near cleaning supplies because apparently they cancel each other out, and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is just at an elevated level. They can't see it. It's very important to me to hide it from them, and a lot of times. People think I'm trying. Listen, there's two things where people thought I was a good parent, and they're absolutely wrong. It's the exact opposite. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because the kids still eat just plain-ass Cheerios, and they dig them, right? Nothing wrong with that. So, we think it's cool that you, as a father, have determined your kids can't have sugary cereal. I'm like, it's not bad at all. I don't want them eating my cereal. It's purely selfish. The other thing, when my daughter was really young, people thought that I was trying to teach her to be bilingual, all right? And you start at an early age, because the younger you are, the easier it is to learn a foreign language. So someone bought her this cash register that talked. And it said 3 or 4 different things, and then you could flip a button, and it would say the same things, but it said it in Spanish. So anyone that would come over, press one of the buttons, and it'd be like, I have no idea because I can't speak Spanish, but it would say something in Spanish, and people were really encouraging about that. They're like, dude, that's really cool. Get her used to it. I said, listen, dog, I'm going to be honest with you. That effing cash register, she plays with it so much. I'm so sick of hearing that thing talk. I'm so sick of that stupid voice that all little kid things talk in. I was going to smash the goddamn thing with a hammer. She's a year old. That might be a bit of a violent reaction. Yep. So I flipped it to Spanish. It doesn't sound as annoying, but I could not believe how many people thought I was being a good parent. No, I even hate that thing. It just doesn't piss me off in Spanish.
Reason we asked, what do you hide and where are you hiding it or who are you hiding it from? Justin Savoy, he's 24 years old. He's from Louisiana. He pleaded guilty on Friday to weapons charges after police in the town of Golden Meadow, who were arresting him, by the way, late last year on a separate matter, discovered that he had a loaded .25 caliber Titan pistol. Police had taken him into custody in December after they responded to suspicious activity at a home he was occupying with a female acquaintance. Cops said they discovered Savoy possessed the handgun, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia during the initial search. Multiple other firearms were also discovered in his truck at the scene. But as Savoy was being strip searched after his arrest, police reportedly found the additional surprise weapon concealed in his rear end. The pistol is more than 4 inches long with a 2.5-inch barrel. He was sentenced to 5 years suspended prison sentence during his district court appearance and got 3 years probation. As part of the terms of the probation, he is barred from owning or possessing firearms, visiting bars or lounges, or indulging in excessive use of alcohol or illegal drugs. That's right. He had the gun hidden in his butt.
You know what that makes it?
No.
An assault weapon.
Random.
He had a gun in there.
Got a gun in his butt. Put a gun in his butt. I would be so paranoid. You said it was loaded?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. My paranoia. I'd be like, hey, guys, listen, I know this is bad. I need to get this gun out of my butt. I thought it was a good idea, but it's loaded. I'm scared to sneeze. Yeah. Seriously, like any wrong move, like I do not want to shoot myself in the ass from the inside. Hello, Tommy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
Tommy, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see here, Tommy. Why don't we go with this one? Who kicked you when you were down, or who always used to rub it in on you whenever you would lose? Maybe it's your favorite team. Maybe it's whatever it is.
Your significant other.
Yeah. Who just rubbed it in and made you feel like crap?
Let's see. My baby's mom.
Is that right?
Oh, baby's mama. All right.
What did you do?
Me and her brother on Christmas got in an altercation. I chokeholded him, and I looked over, and she was on the phone with the police.
Okay.
Why did the altercation start?
On Christmas.
Son's first Christmas.
Oh, your son's very first Christmas. What do you remember what you guys were arguing about?
He's just a jerk. He came at me, and I had to put him down. You know.
Well, let me ask you this: what did the police determine when they got there?
It's the way it works is whoever calls the police first, that the other person goes to jail.
Yeah, who calls first wins, assuming you don't do anything stupid.
What time of day was this on Christmas Day that you got into a physical altercation?
It was about 10 o'clock or 10:30, something like that.
In the evening?
No, at night.
Okay, yeah, that's
At
what
night, Miles, dumbass.
That's what I meant.
All right, that
helps.
So did you go to jail?
Oh, yes. 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks? Good Lord, man.
What about your brother-in-law?
Nothing.
He didn't get anything. Okay, are you still with your wife?
We're cordial, but no, we're not together.
And I guess you don't really hang out with her brother anymore?
Hell no, that guy's a dumbass.
Okay, all right. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
That sounds like a terrible Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I want to say, sadly, that like Christmas is like very high for domestic calls.
It is. I mean, we get all this family together, and look, if your family has one of those horrible dynamics, you can avoid each other most of the year, but whatever reason, either Thanksgiving or Christmas, you're probably going to see each other, and whatever has not been spoken all day because your mother has forbidden it, once you have a few barley pops, man, it's over. Mm-hmm. It is over. We tried to surprise my father. It's a couple of years ago, Father's Day, right? And he has relatives all across the country. We flew all of them in. We're keeping it under wraps. Like half these people are going to stay at my house. The other half are going to stay with him. Surprise to him. And anyway, he's very touched. He's very tickled. He thought it was great. But two of my uncles, both of them being his brothers, my mother goes, well, because I'm saying who could stay at my place, who I could fit. And she's like, yeah, you can have one or the other. Which I don't want either, but I mean, I can take both. I got the room. She's like, no. They can't be around each other. I'm like, what do you mean they can't be around each other? They have had some beef going on. I'm not making this up, for like 20 or 30 years. No one even remembers, including them, how it started, but it hasn't gone away. And these fools, in spite of they're in their early 70s and late 60s, they still will not let this go. So the one uncle is staying with me, the other uncle is staying with my parents, but at one point, they're all together. They're all at my place. All right, and you could see there was some tension. My wife's the one who put that down. She was just like, look, mother effers. She's like, in this house with my kid, you don't act like that. Yes, ma'am. And they got along fine.
Cool.
They hate each other again.
Right.
But they got along fine then. But when I was saying to my mother, listen, man, these are grown-ass men. We're not going to have any problems. She goes, they got in a fight at their own mother's funeral. I said, okay, point taken.
All right, jeez.
Physical.
Jeez.
That's wild.
It's stupid, man. I don't have time for it. My wife wasn't playing that S at all. And what's funny about this whole family dynamic, everyone knows about it. but they can't say anything around my father. My father does not play S. So even his siblings, and again, these are all grown-ass adults with grown-ass children and grandkids talking to his one sister. Yeah, well, don't tell your father. I'm like, come on, man, it's 2018 or whatever.
Right.
She's like, don't tell him. We're still scared of him. I'm like, okay.
Jesus.
Everyone was on their best behavior. He didn't even know anything was going on until after they left. We're telling him like a couple of weeks later. He's like, what? Like, bro, people were putting out fires all around. He's like, I didn't know anything about it. Say, because your family is terrified to tell you.
Reason we asked who kicked you when you were down or who rubbed it in. Steve, weren't you telling us last week that was it the NFL Films who gave crowd noise to each individual team in the NFL so that would be the actual crowd noise from that stadium?
It's the ambient crowd noise from each NFL stadium, what NFL Films did because of the COVID thing. So, obviously, the sound that you heard last night coming out of CenturyLink or whatever the hell they call it now, that is Seahawks fans. Granted, it was turned down about 1/8 of the normal amount of noise, but that was a Seahawks crowd when they play in Baltimore.
Collinsworth brought that up a couple times last night.
And it's pretty cool. Well, yeah, because if you play in Seattle, I don't care who it is loud, man, but they can only turn it up to either 70 or 75 decibels, which is way lower than to Seattle.
Well, Philadelphia Eagles QB Carson Wentz, he threw 2 interceptions yesterday. TV viewers heard a chorus of boos rained down from the hometown fans as he walked to the sidelines both times. That part is not unusual because Philly fans they're Philly fans, even on their own players. The weird part, in the age of coronavirus, there were no fans. That was actually pumped in, which means those fake hometown boos, they were pumped in Philly style. One twist to all this, as pointed out by Sports Illustrated, Wentz himself didn't hear the boos. It seemed the players hear a different fake crowd noise than TV viewers.
Everything's fine if you're on the field.
At stadiums, the NFL uses a generic white noise to mimic crowds, so while fans at home are hearing Philly fans engage in the decades-long tradition of heckling their own players, the guys on the field just heard the game and the noise that they've been hearing all afternoon. Either way, the Eagles lost to the Rams 37-19.
I feel like that's even worse. Like, look, man, there was no one there to boo me. And they're like, oh, no, we want to make you feel home. We're going to boo you anyway.
Yeah.
Still hook you up.
We got a boo button.
Random.
You know, it's weird, man. I wondered about this yesterday. My brother did the, Steelers-Broncos game, right? So he's up at Heinz Field. I don't think there was anyone there, but I know at one point he made a call. It goes against Pittsburgh. Some petty call. And there's that little boo. I'm like, I wonder if he has any idea.
No.
So that's crazy.
No, that's insane.
I'm going to have to let him know. Hey, man, when you're on TV, when the hometown does not like your call, they boo your ass, even though you can't hear them. But don't feel too good about yourself. Hello, Ed. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Ed, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see, let's go with this one. Ed, would you say that for the most part you drive the speed limit, below the speed limit, or do you drive above the speed limit?
I'm usually always above.
Okay, let's say that the speed limit is 65 miles an hour. Where do you take it to the top limit?
75-ish, 80.
Okay, so anywhere between 75 and 80. What is the...
I feel like 10 miles an hour over. In my experience, I've been able to talk my way out of it. You get a warning and all that kind of thing. I feel like once I hit 15 miles an hour over it, that becomes, hey, man, I hear you. Mm-hmm. I hate to give you this ticket, but here's your ticket.
So, in other words, if you're driving 90 east and you get to the point where the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, 80 is acceptable speed.
80, I'm comfortable if I get pulled over. I want to go 90, but 80, I have a top.
Okay, all right, okay. I think I would primarily drive below the speed limit just because I'm trying to get better fuel economy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, exactly.
My misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. I thought it said 30. It must have said 90.
I drive the speed limit.
What do you guys find is the car that you see that notoriously is going faster than everyone else on the road?
In my experience for the last month, coming into work, man, I can't explain it. Mercedes and Porsche, to the point I'm beginning to think it's the same people.
Is it the Dodge Charger or the Dodge Challenger with the 2 circle headlights in the front on each side?
That's the Challenger.
I see a lot of those guys flying these days.
But to be fair, it's called a muscle car. Come on, man.
Yeah, I get it. They bought this car. The reason we asked you to drive above, below, or the speed limit, what would you guess is the number one car people who speed like to drive? Well, a company called Insurify. They looked at a bunch of models each year and how many owners have at least one speeding ticket on their record. Overall, just over 10% of Americans have gotten a speeding ticket before.
Really?
Here are the top 5 cars for people who feel the need for speed. And that, yes, would have been a $5 fine. At number 5, the Dodge Dart, over 15% speed in that car. The Infiniti G37, just under 16%. The two top speeding cars right now on the roadways, that would be the Subaru Impreza and the Volkswagen GTI are tied. And then overall, over 20% of people who drive one of these have a speeding ticket on their record. That would be the Subaru WRX.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
Rest of the top 10, by the way, the Hyundai Veloster, Dodge Challenger, Dodge Ram 2500, Dodge Charger, and Nissan 350Z.
Okay, all right.
Those are some of the cars that...
Yeah, I'm generally a speed limit guy, but once in a while I'll rent a car or something that just has more pickup in it than I expected.
I feel different in rental cars.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Like, I found myself on Route 50 in Maryland, and I was going like, look, trust me, I'm almost always speed limit. I was going like 85.
Because you can't tell.
What did you rent, though?
An Impala.
Well, okay, again, here's a car. That thing is begging you to drive it fast. And, Miles, you can attest to this. If you go to Hawaii, I don't know if this is still the case, apparently, like, Chrysler, Jeep just said, look, we don't want any of these anymore. Make these your only rentals available. It's either a Wrangler from Jeep, which you're not going to take too fast because it'll flip over and all that, or a Sebring, which can only hit 60 miles an hour, and that's if you drop it out of a plane.
I got a Camaro convertible last time I was
What?
there. I got a Camaro convertible.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got a freaking Sebring. The car sucks.
Awesome. And gas is so cheap there.
Yeah.
More
like
of the
everything.
random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Got a hankering for a sessionable hazy IPA? Elysian Brewing's Contact Haze is just the brew for you. Order Contact Haze and your other favorite Elysian brews like Space Dust from ElysianBrewing.com today for free delivery. ElysianBrewing.com. Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
John Bon Jovi. He will be a part of I'm Listening Wednesday night at 6 right here on The Rock and Radio.com.
John Bon Jovi himself?
John Bon Jovi, the man,
You
the
know
myth, the
what?
legend.
This is what pisses me off about John Bon Jovi, right? So at the time they came out like with that song and all that kind of thing, I don't care who you are, deep down you like that song, admit it, you were singing it. But I don't necessarily love a lot of the other stuff he did. He was a super sex symbol. He just rubbed me the wrong way.
He's the man.
Years passed and I'm like, I don't like his music so much, but I'm like, I like this dude. Seems like a solid guy.
I'm listening ensures that mental health conversations are seen as commonplace and met with acceptance. I'm listening is here to remind everybody that it's okay to not be okay at times. Katy Perry is also joining him along with Motley Crue and Alanis Morissette and Morissette, and the Guns N' Roses and Duffer McKagan. Check out there. I'm listening at radio.com and right here on 99.9 KISW. BJ's hosting it from BJ and Things. It's a great program, so please be sure to tune in. Okay, it is our random question. It looks like we just lost every call we have.
Well, we didn't just lose them, but yes. I'm not saying it's Bon Jovi's fault, but during Wanted, Dead or Alive, they all dropped.
Give me a question, Miles.
206-421-ROCK, you want one?
Yeah.
Random.
Let's see here, Ted. In your lifetime, what would you like to have back? That you've had in the past? Maybe it's just like a sweatshirt that you lost.
Yeah, there is an Arsenal one I really liked, but I let somebody borrow it and it never came back.
You let a chick borrow it, didn't you?
Correct.
Listen, in the hoodie world, in my experience, I don't know, I've been dating for the last 35, 40 years, whatever it is. If you loan out a hoodie, you ain't going to see it again. It's just, I don't know what it is about hoodie and baseball hats, man.
But the hoodie, too, was like, my family used to be all the cousins, and then when you got, the aunts and uncles, but as you got older, we were all adults, so everybody would just pick a name, and then you would send that person a gift, right?
All right.
So my Uncle Phil got me this great shirt, the Arsenal hoodie. It says the Kings of London. And then, I lost it in a transactional deal.
I understand. Yeah.
And then B there was so much drama over who was in the family and not in the family that we had to stop doing it.
Really?
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's the debate about what is the debate about whether or not someone's in your family? I mean, and they're just like, they're in the family.
The quick version is My parents are divorced, and my dad is a jackass.
Okay, I see.
He made like this massive deal out of, it's like, right, technically she's not a Smith anymore, but nobody cares.
Do not suck the fun out of this.
Right. So then my Uncle Tim was just like, we won't do it.
He ruined the holiday.
Yeah, right? And it's like, why?
Reason we asked, what would you like to have back? Filipino Giovanni Brazula was pretty stoked over the summer. He got a weathered-looking surfboard for $50 from a neighbor. That guy had purchased it from a local fisherman who found it floating off of the island of Serengeti. They figured it had fallen off a yacht cruising in the area, whatever. Well, Brazula now knows where it actually came from. The waters of Hawaii, 5,000 miles away.
Good Lord.
After a big wave surfer's wipeout more than 2 years ago, that surfer is Doug Falter, who took a tumble in the waves of Oahu in February of 2018. Per a Facebook post last month, Falter explained that the leash keeping his custom-made Lyle Carson surfboard tethered to him slipped off his ankle, and though he scrambled to retrieve it, his efforts were in vain. I was really upset as I managed to catch the biggest waves of my life on this board, he wrote. Noting he hoped it would be found locally. I guess the myth there in the area is that most of these boards that do get lost somehow make their way to Kauai based on the current, so he kind of thought it might be up there. Well, instead, the board drifted west, where it was retrieved from the waters by a fisherman 6 months after his wipeout. Now, by the time Branzula, a school teacher who wanted to learn how to surf, got his hands on the board a couple months ago, its blue paint had all faded, but the Lyle Carson name could still be made out. So Branzula contacted Carlson online, and Carlson, in turn, posted a pic of the surfboard and tagged Falter on Instagram. Falter was thrilled to discover that his surfboard had finally been found, and Branzula is more than happy to return it once Falter is able to get to the island. However, Falter, who has been raising money for supplies for this guy's school, says he's just going to get a smaller surfboard, and he wants him to keep it because if he wants to learn to surf that much, he's already got his hands on it. He said he wants him just to enjoy the sport of surfing.
And tell him, do better than I did.
5,000 miles away.
Jeez, man.
Random.
How did you do surfing when you tried to surf?
I got up a few times. The biggest problem with me is that it's not the ability to get up and stay up. I was bailing a little bit too far in.
All right.
So I was like flopping in 6 inches of water, which is never good to coral. So you got to basically do a face plant to keep yourself from getting cut. But the one thing was just the paddling out. It just wipes the living hell out of you. And if you're not in shape, the bottom of your rib cage hurts. Your shoulders start to burn.
I did not expect the rib cage pain. That I could not believe. The next day, because you're laying on the board paddling, right?
All right.
So I knew my arms would get fatigued. It wasn't the end of the world. But man, the next day, you're right. It felt like someone just threw body blows to you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if I could have been in better shape and a better, stronger swimmer, then I would have definitely had at least 2 or 3 more runs. But you got to remember, man, you're paddling that thing out at least 100 yards.
Sure.
Depending on how far you ride and when you bail. But at the same point in time, you're still having to paddle into waves, which then knock you back. And then that process repeats itself till you get, to a point where you can catch one.
And then you sit there and wait.
And then you just dangle your feet off the edge and think, God, I hope a shark doesn't come and take a bite out of this.
Is it fun or is it scary?
It's both.
Both.
I mean, look, I'm sure if you surf all the time, it's probably just fun. But when you don't quite know what you're doing, and again, I did this in Hawaii. So as I'm sitting there on the board with my feet in the water, I'm like, I bet you 95% of these people are also thinking about sharks, right? But when you catch a wave, man, it feels good. Feels awesome. I caught like 2.
Yeah. No, it's a good feeling. Like, I'm up. Finally. Thank God.
Yay.
Random question 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Josiah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Josiah, welcome to the program. The random question. What about this one? How would you say in your lifetime that you've made a little side money? What did you do to make some side money?
What's it? My dad, he owned a landscape business. So I would always just work for my dad whenever I needed the bucks.
How much would he give you an hour?
Towards the end of it, I was making like $15 an hour, but it was all under the table, so no taxes or nothing.
That's not bad. $15 an hour. Okay.
Yeah, but no tax. It's like making, $21 an hour, basically.
Did you have a regular job at the time, or was that just your way of getting some extra money for school?
Yeah, I had a regular job at the time, but, got to make some money.
See, if I had a regular job at the time that was not paying me $15 an hour under the table, I would then probably get rid of the regular job I had and take the full-time job that hopefully that my father would let me do.
The only problem is I'd have to work for my father.
Did you have to work with him directly?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that makes such a huge difference. Like, my father's a fantastic human being. I don't know if I'd want to work for him. I could even work with him. I just don't know if I want to work for him.
One of your best friends owns a landscaping business.
Correct.
And he hired you. What did he pay you an hour?
Oh, it was garbage. Like,
it wasn't $15 an hour.
No, they were starting their business, right? So I'm still in high school, and I remember showing up. I was coaching baseball with my brother, and I show up, right? I look all ratty, but it's my first paycheck, right?
Right.
And I've been busting my pump, getting up at 6 a.m., which you guys know I love getting up early, right? Outside and everything. So I got this first paycheck. I had never had a paycheck before. I'm very proud of it. I showed it to my brother, and he goes, I don't think that's even minimum wage.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Oh, they paid me garbage.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Your best friend.
Well, here's the problem. Bernie didn't own the company yet. His brother did. His brother was a fireman.
Okay.
So Bernie, basically, the deal was the brother paid for it, and then Bernie had to go to college, get all the licenses and this and that. And after a while, Bernie bought him out. But at this point, I was just dealing with the brother. So, like...
Nothing you could say.
Right, and I'm friends with their entire family, so I'd go to, like, an event at Mrs. Granzo's, and the brother, man... I'd be like, hey, Matt, do you have my paycheck? And he would throw it on the ground.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
It was so disrespectful.
Sounds awesome.
Reason we asked, how did you make a little side money? This is creepy as hell. You can imagine how many weird ways that this thing could possibly go. But there is a new app called Mole. Mole. And basically, it lets you hire anonymous strangers to work as your spies.
Okay.
All right.
Spies on what?
You go on Mole and post that you want to see a live video of certain locations. Then someone else on Mole who's near that location can get paid a few bucks to live stream it to you. So they say you could use it for anything from checking your house when you're away.
Sure.
To seeing how long the line is outside of a restaurant.
Right.
Or maybe you just want to see the Eiffel Tower live while you're stuck at home. But you can't possibly imagine any other ways that this could be used.
No.
But yes, basically someone's in that area. I need someone to take a video for me on, I don't know, Highway 99, somewhere up on 95th at the corner, and see if anybody who looks like this person is coming out of a hotel room. And in that event, then you would pay that person. They would send you that video. Basically what you've got is you've got a tipster at all times in any location. It allows you to look for people in those locations. Then, much like an Uber driver, they can decide whether they want to take that fare or not. They can pick you up. They can
so I'm like a Mole consultant.
Right.
I get a beep that says I got, 5 different things I can do within a 2-mile radius. Yeah. I pick the one I want. And
your kids are a little bit older, and they're playing, and they call you, and they say, Dad, we're at the park. We're going to stay another hour before we come home. I know we're supposed to be home now. And you say, are they really at the park?
I would say to my children, look, I'm going to extend your curfew, give that extra hour. If you ever lie to me again about where you are, we're going to have a problem.
Right.
You're not at the park.
You could have somebody stream from your home. Keep an eye on that pepperoni.
Yeah. You could also have people go to restaurants to see.
I see. If you think somebody's cheating.
Yeah. Basically, it's called Mole. It's.
I like how they give every example other than the one that the only reason anyone's going to use.
Exactly.
You can live stream the Eiffel Tower. You can look at a goddamn postcard. That is not why people are going to use Mole. Come on.
I mean, could you use it at a game? It's probably illegal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but people do it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. People always have videos.
Look, Patriots have been doing it for years.
Yeah, right. Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Rob, welcome to the program. Random question. Rob, you got any siblings?
Thanks, but I have no siblings.
You have no siblings.
All right.
Good. I'm going to give you another question then, because this one's about brothers and sisters. All right, let's see here. Okay. Have you, in your lifetime, ever had an office romance?
Yes.
Dated someone who worked with
3 times.
You? 3 different times.
Three different times, 2 different people.
Same job.
No, one was a pizza place, pizza place. The other one was a security guard, and the third one was a bottle plant.
Okay, all right. Who was the pursuer in this instance?
The 2 times was both of us. The third time was mine.
Okay.
Was me.
And did you work the same shifts together? Did you ever get a chance to sneak off during lunch breaks?
Yes, we worked the same shift together. No, we never actually did anything at work.
Okay, all right. And right now, how did you meet the person you're with?
Work.
You were perfect. So you've got a formula, and you're just sticking to it. Is that what I understand?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
If it works, man, stick with it, right?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Glad we asked you that question. Have you ever had an office romance? I think I've had 2, maybe.
I mean, I've had a couple, but it was all restaurants where it's almost expected.
Yeah, isn't the restaurant industry? I mean, it's just kind of.
I mean, look, I don't know if it still is, but certainly in my young 20s working in restaurants, people shacked up together all the time. You didn't typically have multiple people, but there was one chick, me and her, we were thrown down, and the Brewers Hard in Baltimore. You remember this place. And we both worked there. We were kind of high up in the kitchen, and we were closing up one night. There's a fireplace in the upstairs, kind of had a living room set up, had sex on the couch, and woke up to the key jingling in the door. We slept all frickin' night and woke up on this couch about 6:30 in the morning, got dressed real quick. Boss walks in, gives us that look that says, I know exactly what happened, but of course we did not. We were doing inventory or something stupid like that.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Reason we asked if you ever had an office romance there, according to a new survey, almost half of people say that they have had an office romance at some point. Obviously, with the COVID thing, it's not helping things out, but whether it was just getting it on one time with a coworker or a full-fledged relationship.
Let's get it on.
And 1 out of 5 of those couples are still together, but the average office romance lasts just about 10 months. And that's when the awkwardness starts, they say. 16% of people are still working with someone that they once had an office romance with.
Ted, is that chick wearing your hoodie? Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I've definitely hooked up with people I work with, but I don't know that I'd call it like a
my experience with you, the only one I remember is that blonde chick whose name I don't remember in Baltimore up until we left.
Right. And
I just remember, and I will not repeat the question, but Ted's like, look, we're leaving soon. There's one thing I want to try. We're like, go for it.
One thing.
Huh? We were like, dude, why not?
What is your one thing? Let Ted tell you what his is.
Yeah. And
Survey,
it is awkward. Well, that one was easier, too, as we moved across the country. So,
yeah, that's how Ted rolls.
Yay. Survey also found about 1 in 5 people, like Rob, have had at least 3 office romances, and about 1 in 10 people got along with their boss.
The boss, huh?
Yeah, 1 in 10.
I've tried, but he keeps turning me down.
I know, he's just in here. Random question, 206-421-ROCK.
Come on, man.
Throw me some of that.
Hello, Katrina. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Katrina, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see here, Katrina. Okay. I'm going to guess you have siblings.
I do. I'm the oldest of 10 plus.
Okay.
Of 10?
Plus that we know of.
Wow. All right, Katrina. How did your brother or sister get you in trouble? They
were always getting me in trouble. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
They pick on me. For sure, ratting me out with everything I did. The one right below me, Rebecca, who's probably listening.
Is she still the same sister that she was then?
Everything I did when I snuck out or when I tried to sneak out. Yeah, she was the one that ratted me out.
Now, did she get brownie points for this, or was this solely to take you down?
I would say both.
Okay. And did you guys share a room together?
Yes.
So anytime you told her a secret, you could guarantee that it was not going to be a secret.
Heck no. Couldn't tell that girl nothing.
Did you ever start feeding her false information? Just knowing she'd run her mouth?
Just to make sure, yeah.
Okay.
It was her.
And is she still the same person that she was then? In other words, if you told her
100%.
something that was on the down low, would she call a relative and tell them?
Of course.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
Man,
After a while, that would go away, but no.
I will say, my brother and I, man, we had the no tattle rule between the two of us. My father set it up like, look, I don't like tattletales. You guys aren't smart enough to actually get away with anything. So if either of you have done something, I'll figure it out on my own. You're kids, right? But if you tattle, both of you get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother was older, so it never really came up. But
sure,
the only time he would really tell on you is if you kind of screwed him over in the process.
Yes.
So if say he was older and he had the beer, and then you had another sibling who stole all his beer, then he was like, "Hey, you know what I mean?"
Were you the other sibling who stole the beer?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Right. If you take a few, he probably wouldn't have noticed.
Right.
You can't steal a whole cooler full of beer.
Oh, my God.
Right. So my sister got in trouble all the time, but also she was terrible about stuff.
Jesus.
Miles, one time she walked out of the house with a backpack, and the backpack was like down like to the back of her knees. And it's just, that's why my brother was like, I think that's my beer. This happened multiple times.
It's just walking out of the house right now.
Yeah, don't mind me.
She's rucking, probably.
Rucking.
Yeah. Reason we asked, how did your brother or sister get you in trouble? This is a bad one. Teenager in Texas has been arrested for allegedly filming her 3-year-old brother smoking marijuana and then posting the video online. The arrest comes after charity worker Yasmin McGill, who campaigns against child abuse, was sent a video and was so concerned about the little boy's welfare, she actually contacted the police. Now the toddler's sister, Larissa Contreras, who lives in San Diego, has been charged with endangering a child following her arrest. The sheriff said that she and others had encouraged the little boy to smoke, which had then made him sick. And rather than helping the child when he began to choke and cough, they said the boy's reaction was viewed as comical. The suspect and several other persons of interest were taking quite a bit of joy in watching him choke and cough. They were laughing at it, making fun of the fact that this little boy was not doing too well on the marijuana.
You don't say.
They thought it was just hilarious and the funniest thing in the world. He said the little boy's parents are not facing any charges, but that the sister is.
Wow.
Still to come, your guess is as good as mine in categories of the top 10 most hated sports franchises and your top 10 favorite television game shows. You are listening to The Men's Room.
On Pod Save the World, we want to be your cheat sheet for global events. My name is Tommy Vitor, and each week, my co-host Ben Rhodes and I break down the biggest stories from around the world. Ben and I both worked on President Obama's national security staff, and we'll introduce you to the activists, politicians, and journalists who can help us understand what's going on around the world, what it means for the United States, and what it's like being inside the White House Situation Room during a crisis. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods.